The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, almost instantly took us to a point to where with two trading partners we had a tremendous amount of business taking place. And those trading partners are Canada and Mexico. When you look at those relationships, not only is there a tremendous amount of trade in those relationships, and you have to go back to the United States. I mean, if you've watched any of the History Channel shows about the United States, you see that our founding fathers worked very hard for trade agreements because they felt that this country's future lay in trade. It still does. The United States is the world's largest exporter. The United States is by far the world's largest exporter of services, which is something that doesn't even get tracked. And so when you take a look at these things, the United States economy is so dependent upon trade. The North American Free Trade Agreement is our largest trade agreement. It is our most significant one. Mexico and Canada are our neighbors. They are our friends. They are our brothers. And as a result, when they send us basic raw materials that we would have to buy elsewhere, we should consider that to be a good thing. So we're talking about really the most equitable trade relationships that we have in a country whose past, present, and future is built upon trade relationships. I don't think you can make a more important statement about NAFTA than that. NAFTA as an instrument has tremendous value to the state of Texas. It's a major contributor to the state's success. But what we have going on now is that there's some issues coming up with free trade that are largely driven by economic factors that will pass. In the meantime, though, there's been a lot of stress, and a lot of the stress is easy to understand if you're in the regions that have suffered because the manufacturing base has maybe not gone your way, or because automation has played a major role in changing the jobs in your region. It's kind of easy to point at this region and say it's been so successful at my expense. Well, nowadays we're seeing it be more successful in bringing industry in from other parts of the world that might have been going to Asia. And so it's a major opportunity for the region. We want to understand how to optimize that opportunity and demonstrate that this adds tremendous value not just to Texas, not just to Mexico, not just to California, Arizona, and New Mexico, but that it adds tremendous opportunities for the U.S. in general. We anticipated when we started this that given the economic clouds that were on the horizon, we believed that this was going to be extremely important, especially for people in the border states and in Mexico, because this message of why NAFTA is such a good thing had to be gotten out. Along the way, people challenged us. You know, people would say, oh, you talk about supporting NAFTA. NAFTA doesn't need your support. NAFTA is going to be fine. NAFTA is not under any type of threat. Well, nobody expects NAFTA to be canceled, but the fact of the matter is that within the range of what NAFTA and other trade agreements allow, you can do a lot of things. You can change tariffs, you can make a lot of adjustments along the way, and those adjustments could have an enormous impact upon the success of trade with a particular country or a particular region. Well, what's happened is that it's all hit the front burner now. You know, people are wanting to review free trade agreements. There's a general mood of protectionism sweeping across not just the United States, but the entire world. And you can bet that any move the United States makes in terms of protectionism will be mirrored, or possibly even more strongly mirrored, in poorer countries who depend upon the United States. And so if they've been shipping their goods to the United States and they see theirs get shut down, they might make a more severe reaction on their side. That's something to stop and think about when you're the world's largest exporter, because that is a significant part of the U.S. economy, and it is exactly how we dove ourselves into the Great Depression before, with acts at the time that were designed to be protectionist.